In this video, you will learn how to solve quadratic function when you are given another function. So basically, we are solving two functions. Please write down the objective. What we are going to learn is how to find the solution of two functions. And the key is x value of the intercept is the answer. I will explain to you what does this mean later on. So typically, this type of question will have x squared plus something, let's say 2x minus 3 is equals to 2x plus 1. So a typical question will look something like this, then you are supposed to solve it. So when we are talking about solving a function, or when we talk about solving the equation, solving means finding the value of x, which is why we look at the x value of the intercept as the answer. So let us look at the game plan. Basically, all of these questions will require you to draw a line. For example, you might be drawing this line. Then the answer will be over here, the intersection, and the intersection over here. You go and find what is the x value, or what is the x value down here, and that will be your answer. It can also be a diagonal line, so the answer will be here, and the answer will be here. And the x coordinate, this one, will be the answer. And the answer will be here. Basically, we look at the x coordinate of the intersection of the two lines, or the curve and the line, as the solution. So let us look at three questions. So in the previous few videos, we have done three graphs already. So we will continue with question 4. So complete the table below and plot the graph of y is equals to x squared minus 3x from -2 to 5. Pause this video because in the next slide I will show you the answer. After drawing the curve, you should have something like this. What we are concerned about in this video will be how to answer these three questions. First question is from the graph, find the value of x when y is equals to 2. And for those of you who have watched the earlier video, this question should be very familiar to you. What you are supposed to do is to draw a line of y is equals to 2, which is down here. Something which I forgot to mention earlier is you need to label the graph. For example, the curve is y is equals to x squared minus 3x. While the straight line, the horizontal straight line is y is equals to 2. And the answer will be So let me write down the answer for part 1. X is equals to negative 0.55 and x is equals to 3.55. So if you see the dot going through the middle of a square, you can have the 0.05 accuracy. Now, before we continue, let me just point out the original function is y is equals to x squared minus 3x. And I can write it as x squared minus 3x is equals to y. Basically, it's just the reverse. And what you can see down here is, for part 1, y is equals to 2. So basically, what this means is, x squared minus 3x is equals to 2 for part 1. Alright, so just keep this in mind. For part 2, from the graph, solve x squared minus 3x is equals to 0. So this might be familiar to everyone. When it is equals to 0, or y is equals to 0, it is the x-axis. So the answer will actually be down here and down here. So for part 2, the answer will be x is equals to 0 and x is equals to 3. And let me just write down, for part 2, right now, the y have been changed to 0. So, x squared minus 3x is equals to 0. So what we are trying to find is, what is value of x when y is equals to 0 for part 2. Part 3 is something new. Draw the equation of the line that can solve x squared minus 3x is equals to x minus 3. So the equation is like this. X squared minus 3x is equals to x minus 3. Basically, what this question is asking us to do is find value of x when y is equals to, make a smart guess, what is y equals to in part 3. Let me just change my color. You can see that for part 1, y is equals to 2, written here. For part 2, y is equals to 0. Alright, because what is the value of x when y is equals to 0? So right now, what we want to find is the value of x when y is equals to x minus 3. So for question 1, we drew y is equals to 2. For question 2, you kind of drew y is equals to 0. So for question 3, we need to draw y is equals to x minus 3. If you recall your linear function, x minus 3 is basically a straight line. So how do we go about drawing this straight line? For straight line, you have to remember that you actually just need 2 points, 2 set of coordinates to draw the line. Because you just need 1 point and 1 point here, then we can draw the line. But to be safe, I will normally encourage students to use 3 coordinates. So the question is, how do we choose what coordinate to use? Very simple. Whenever they give you the question, they will give you this table. So what I like to do is choose the minimum x value and choose the maximum x value. Then, because I want to draw the line y is equals to x minus 3, I draw a table. X, y, minus 2 and 5. Where did I get this minus 2 and 5? I got it from here. 2 and 5. And the middle number, I will always just choose 0. Okay? So how do we fill in the y value? So y is equals to negative 2 minus 3. So this will be negative 5. Y is equals to 0 minus 3. So this will give me negative 3. Y is equals to 5 minus 3. And this will give me 2. So I have 3 coordinates. And if you are wondering, this one is from here. I'm just replacing x with the x value of the table that I have just drawn. Next is just a matter of fact of drawing x minus 3. So let me just draw out the point. When x is equal to negative 2, y is down here. Y is down here. And when x is equal to 5, y is equal to 2. Just keep in mind, sometimes your graph might not be large enough. You can see that over here, when y is equal to negative 5, it is already overshooting negative 4. So if it overshoot, never mind, you still got 2 points to use. So it is still okay. Which is why always have x as 0. Because you do not know whether the minimum or the maximum might overshot the range of your graph. So what we can do is we draw the line. And if it's not long enough, we can continue drawing. If it's long enough, we can just stop it down here. Alright? So from here, I can see what are the solution of x. So for part 3, and let me just label this line. This line is y is equals to x minus 3. So we can see that the intersection over here, x is equals to 1 and over here, x is equals to 3. So this will be the answer for this question. So I have 2 more questions. Please go and try it out. This is question number 5. And for you to check the answer, it is down here. Please try question 5C part 1 and part 2 on your own. Part 1 shouldn't be an issue. It is just the point where the curve cuts the x-axis, while for part 2, you have to draw this line. And to help you up a bit, you have to draw this table. X, Y. Minimum is 2. Maximum is 4. What goes into here? You decide. I have already taught you what to use. And if you need to check the answer, they are down here. If your answer is different, please check whether you have drawn this line. So as you can see, for this line, right, it actually overshot the curve. So to be honest, there will be another solution to this question, but due to the limitation of this graph, we only have this intersection as our answer because the graph doesn't go up enough for me to find what's the answer for this. And the last question is here. Again, pause the video and do the question. Draw the curve. And if you have done the curve, it should look something like this. So 6C, part 1 and 2 will require you to draw the line of y is equals to x plus 4 and y is equals to 1 minus 2x. Again, the method is the same. And if you need the answer, they are down here. So this will be all for this lesson.